Hey guys, and today I want to show you how to set up a logging sync with BigQuery and Stackdriver. So in the last video I showed you how to set up centralized logging with Stackdriver and NGINX so you could forward your NGINX access logs to Stackdriver to have a simple centralized logging solution. Today what I want to do is show you how to set up that sync so you can forward your logs to BigQuery, and so if you have logs that are older than 30 days, you can still query them through BigQuery. And that's what I'm going to show you. And before we get started, just make sure that your service account has the logs configuration writer role enabled here. This will make sure that when you're creating the sync with Terraform, it doesn't throw an error for us and has the correct permission. So once you have that going, let's get started. Let's take a quick look at the Terraform so I can show you what it looks like. So if you're using the NGINX-Stackdriver-Terraform repository from before, you can just do a git pull and you'll get the new contents from that repository. I'll also leave a link in the description for that. So I added a few things here. First and foremost, I created a BigQuery dataset. And with that dataset, I'm just calling it NGINX logs. And then here I'm defining the resource for the logging project sync. So we're going to name that NGINX-logs as well, and we're just going to define a destination, and this destination makes sure that it actually goes to BigQuery, which is this long string right here. Just make sure it's in the right project and it references the data set from above here. And then we're going to use something called unique writer identity, which is going to provision a service account just for this. So it's going to create a new service account for us, and then we just want to make sure that we're giving that service account the correct permissions, which is BigQuery.dataEditor. And that's going to allow it to actually write logs over to BigQuery, that service account associated with the sync. So once you have that working, we can actually run the Terraform. So now we're going to go ahead and actually run the Terraform. So go to your terminal here and just run Terraform plan. If you ran this from last time, you're not going to have to create the instance. Because I still have that instance, I'm now just creating 3 resources. So that's the data set, the logging sync, and then that IAM binding role. So now I can just do Terraform apply. And it's going to prompt me. I'm going to say yes. And it's going to be relatively quick here. So there we go. It added those 3 resources. So now we can take a look and see what it created. So let's just go back to our GCP menu here. So our Google Cloud Console. And in the navigation menu, we're just going to select logging. Going to click the logs button here. Takes a second to load, and then on the left-hand menu, we're just going to click exports. Great. So we can see here that the NGINX-logs sync has been created and that it has a writer identity. That's that service account that we created, and it's going to the correct destination. So now we can actually take a look at BigQuery to see our logs. So now that we have our sync created, what I suggest is that you just visit the instance URL a few times to just generate some log entries. You can also use your terminal, which is what I did, and those logs should show up in BigQuery. So just go to the menu and select BigQuery. Great, so you can see the project ID here on the left. You can click that, you can click the data set, and then there's a table, which is the entries from the sync. So you can select that. You can see a bunch of different values here. You can select a query table, and I'm just going to select JSON payload here because that's going to show content from the NGINX access logs. And the query is going to take a second, and you can see here my curl entries there that I did in the background, and a few other entries for me just accessing the NGINX page here. And what we can do is I can go back here and then I can refresh it. You do 2 times, and then we have 5 entries here. So if we run it again, let's do it one more time. Okay, great. So you can see now that we have 2 extra entries. So it takes a bit of a second. It takes a second for it to actually go in, but it's relatively quick. I've actually done this with generating terabytes and terabytes of access logs in the past, and it's worked out pretty well. You can do analysis over time on the logs, and it'll open up a world of opportunity with dashboarding for NGINX stuff, and it's pretty awesome. So that's about it. If you want to delete everything, you can run Terraform destroy, or you can play around with this some more, generate some more logs, but really that's all it takes to set up a BigQuery sync, and I hope you found this valuable and that you can use it on your next project. Thank you.